There's no place like home. There's no place.
Home. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life. I'm Cindy Dole.
And I'm Eric Stromer, I think, today.
How is your pond? That was the big burning question.
Well, that is always the big update question. I'm so excited. Here's what's happened. You know, we started out. I'll refresh everyone's memory. It started with a broom. I bought a broom at Home Depot. I went there. I bought this broom for like $9, and then I thought to myself, why not get some succulents while I'm here? And then I brought them home. This is clearly not enough. And then it turns into I'm digging holes, and then pretty soon I'm delivering boulders, and I've got water features happening, and I've now decided to create the Spanish Steps in my backyard, essentially, with these huge waterfalls and pumps and all sorts of stuff. So here's where we are. Friday, it's due. This Friday coming up, because it's the 8th grade party. I had my friend Chris Tuck, the genius landscape designer, come over and help me, and he brought one of his guys. Okay, and this guy is like the most amazing digger. He's like a grave digger. I get there about 2 hours after I'd asked him to come over, and he's got a hole, and my daughter Willow is standing in the hole, and I can't see the top of her head.
I love that.
That's how deep this. And these guys are so good at digging.
And they just do this with a shovel?
They do it with this is what he does for a career. So he's so talented at like just making holes, right?
Uh-huh.
And it just blew me away because
he must be really built.
He's not. He's like this little slight guy that just has the ability and the angles and the geometry of his body to make the perfect dig.
And it goes quickly.
It goes quickly.
Because when you were digging, you got a little sore.
Not only did I get sore, I had to go to the chiropractor. I had to have adjustments and treatments and body wraps and slings and all sorts.
Hard.
It's not easy digging.
You mean you don't dig digging?
I don't dig digging, doll. So anyway,
you got the professional.
So long story short, I get the professional. I come back yesterday after you and I had done our thing and met and did the show yesterday with Bob on Money Talk 101 with our genius tips and pros. And you know what happened? Piles of dirt on the sidewalk. I've asked him, can you put this in the front yard and raise my garden beds in the front too, which he did. And it was all cleaned up and perfectly executed, and I just felt like I wanted to hold him in my arms and start weeping because it felt like the cavalry showed up and saved me because the clock's ticking. It's almost time for me to have plants in the ground. They got to be in there by Wednesday or Thursday so I can start tweaking all the adjustments with the pressure and the water as it comes down the fall and all that stuff. And by the way, as this thing has continued, it's evolved. It's now gone from a simple little dripping water feature system, trickling water. You know, you have a beautiful fountain at your own home, so I was trying to emulate that.
Well, it's a koi pond.
Well, yes. So mine went from a simple water feature to a waterfall. Then I went to a place out in Shadow Hills and talked to the water pond expert guy that is like, when I showed up at this location, it's almost as if pan flute music started and Yoda showed up out of the mist. And this guy kind of imparted the wisdom on how to make it a great koi pond environment. Poi. I want poi. And so he
Well, what he's going to say is, I'm guessing you want to have layers. You don't want it to be just a big pool, right? Isn't that what wasn't he saying, like shelving?
You're in a relationship with this guy, aren't you? How did you know that information? How do you know?
I know Yoda.
You are something. Yes, basically he wants me to have a place where they can live underneath the koi can live in a rock area.
Well, wait a minute. You said you weren't going to have koi.
No, now I am. Now I've been convinced that I have to. I can't just have a pond. I have to prepare it for maybe someday if I do want koi, I can have them.
Totally do. And you know why?
Why?
Because the koi are going to eat the algae. It's going to be a great ecosystem.
I'm creating an ultimate ecosystem. You know why? Because he told me to run another piece of PVC in the upper pool to then aerate it, shooting water out. I had to tee off an area and go one to the waterfall, one to the pond where the water's going to now aerate and come up through pea gravel, creating essentially a lifelike environment for these beautiful fish should I decide to buy them. But I didn't want to get...
You're going to. You're going to, yeah. But don't get frogs and turtles. I'll tell you that much.
Why?
They're so cute, but the thing is, they always escape, and how sad for the kids because then they've named the turtle, they've named the frogs, and they've
well, you know,
that's what they do.
I told you we went through this with the hamster a couple of weeks ago when the
Yeah.
dog or cat attacked it, and it was like a crime scene in my
Yeah.
in my office. So I'm not going to do turtles and frogs. But how can
Maybe.
a turtle escape? They only go.
They do, and then they're going to get smushed. Don't do it. Don't get the turtles and the frogs.
I'm not getting them.
But the koi, I mean,
But aren't koi expensive? Like
No.
each, how much?
You
How
can
much
get
is a
small
koi?
one? You can get a small one for about $10, and a small one, you know, that's a little bit bigger than a goldfish. In fact, you can even get goldfish. Goldfish can go in your pond along with koi. They kind of
They commingle.
They come. Well, I don't know what they're doing, but they're.
Hey, take it easy. It's a family show.
I think they nuzzle. We'll keep it clear.
Yeah, they do a little
They-
snuggling.
That's a little spooning.
So I can have koi and goldfish. Aren't koi goldfish?
It's a different.
It's a
kind.
different species?
Yeah, carp. Carp is. Yeah, it's a different thing. You want the koi, the Japanese
I can't get a
koi.
bluefin tuna there, can I?
No,
No, I'm
I know.
afraid not.
But I had a blue koi. In fact, Bluebell was her name a couple years ago, and unfortunately, we lost Bluebell, and it was really sad.
In a tragic pottery
She
accident.
got no. She got a disease. I mean, koi, I think pretty much are pretty hardy, so you'll be okay for the most part. But just be prepared. The thing you want to do.
Okay, listen, this is really not what I need now. I have 3 kids under 14.
Oh, it'll be great.
2 pets.
I promise.
A hamster that just passed away. Now I'm going to get koi.
You're going to get koi. But let's set the stage a little bit more for me, because I'm trying to visualize these holes, and now you're saying you're going
Okay.
to have an aerating
All right,
area,
all right.
because that's because you want to keep oxygen in the water circulating.
You
is what
got
you're
to
saying.
sit back, enjoy the ride. You ready for this explanation? Here's how it goes.
Sit back and enjoy
Okay,
the
so the
ride.
big rock is there. I've got the copper pipe coming out of the ground, cascading water on top of the huge
But not going
4,400
through it.
pound boulder.
Not
No,
going
I
through
did
it.
not want to do that. This is my design idea, which you'll see on the website, yourhomewizards.com. The water trickles out of this copper pipe that will become blue and green ultimately from oxidizing. It then cascades off the rock into the first pond, which is about 4 feet in diameter and about almost 3 feet deep. That's going to be filled with gravel, and under the gravel will be a pond liner, and on top of the pond liner will be a little piece of 1.25 inch PVC that's coming from the pump below and pushing water out in multiple directions because there's holes drilled in it, right? Almost like a gas log starter in a fireplace. Right, so the water's shooting out of that underneath this gravel, which is then bubbling up through the gravel to then create an environment where bacteria that is healthy can grow and thrive. That water rises up and goes over a cascading little waterfall that then descends down into a secondary stream,
Shallow,
and then it goes into a big pond below to catch everything. That's where the pump is, and that's where the pump pumps up this water into A, the waterfall, B, the area we're calling the filter pond.
And so you have all of this is costing you what, $5,000?
Nope. It'll be about $1,800 with plants when we're all said and done.
That's
now,
great.
retail, what, $15,000?
Easily. 10
See,
to
now that
15.
makes me feel like it's worth it.
See, and we already want to now make our pond bigger, because it's like anything. You go, wow, how come I didn't make it, as big as I really should have? Our dream is now to extend our pond that's in the front yard. That is it's nestled. If you can envision what kind of walking up to someone's home, and you see before you get to the front door, there's this pathway of flagstones, and there's a dining room with windows, and so this is just beneath those windows, so you can hear the sound of the water throughout the entire house.
Stop rubbing that in.
I'm going to make a recording of that audio sound just in case your water isn't
Because mine
percolating
may
it.
not work. The engineering that I created in my head may not actually work.
But we want to now can you imagine, there's a great restaurant that we love to go to where you walk over the koi pond, and it's all glass.
You're
and
talking a suspension bridge.
wouldn't that be great to have this pond now go underneath our walkway?
If you have that, I will hate you forever. Because not only do you have that oven that cooks the chicken in a minute,
No, come on.
now you're going to have a suspension bridge and living koi.
I'm just saying, it's like anything in home improvement. Once you feel that you can do it, you want to do it even better.
Here's the warning I want to put out to the people,
What's
the
that?
good people of America. Your taste suddenly gets better as you go through projects.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Find a budget, stick to it. Unless
Wait, who's
Oh.
that? Who's that?
That sounds like your friend Eric
That's
Stromer,
my
pond
buddy.
expert now, singing.
All right, well, Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole here to help improve your home and improve your life. And yes, he sings too, you guys. When we come back, we're going to help talk a little bit more about some fun things to help improve the spaces you call home. Don't go away. Home Wizards, we're back in a flash.
I'm getting koi.
Now, when I get home later today, I'm going to work on our roses just a little bit because it's that time to feed them again. And I was texting you, Eric, a picture. Did you see the picture of the roses? It was almost like a bouquet.
Show off.
It was
glorious.
It's a type of rose where it just kind of clusters bunches of them.
Yeah, but yours cluster.
Mine,
mine just go a little and then fall off and die.
Well, it's not because of me. It's because of this Bayer Advanced solution that we love. Our sponsor that, it's the Bayer aspirin folks, but they have made the most genius thing that's going to help with your roses and all flowers because it feeds and protects against bugs, against diseases, and then it makes you have these roses that are, rose parade quality.
And guess what? I just helped my mom and dad out with theirs a couple of days ago already, showing signs of recovery.
Yeah, I love it. So check it out.
Blooming flowers.
They're in those blue containers. It's Bayer Advanced all-in-one rose care. Comes in the granules or the spray. Bayer Advanced, better science, better results in the blue bottle. BayerAdvanced.com.